Hello. Hello, hello, hello. What the heck? Thank you for the 11 months. What the hell? 11 months? It's absurd. It's absurd. I really appreciate that. What the hell? Oh my goodness. Oh, nearly a year. A year next month. Next month it'll be a year. Wow. Bro, it's been so long. What the hell? Ah, thank you. Anyway, we're doing some Portal 2. Um, it's happening. Uh, we're doing the thing. Um, I haven't switched over the thing. Whoops. There it is. It's Portal. It's the video game. Um, yeah, we're playing the game. Hopefully the audio is gonna work. I have to tab into the. I have to tab into the window. Okay, it's quite quiet, but some bits are really loud for like no reason at all. So it should be fairly quiet right now. Like this is just menu noises. Um, if I were to go into like uh, this. Wait, do I not have this one? No, I do have this one. What? Confusing. Oh, I just knocked my chair on. Hopefully the audio is good. Wait, still can't hear? Really? It might be a little quiet. You should at least be able to hear the game. Oh. But you can hear me. Um... On my end, there's like no issue with the audio. Okay, let me try that. How's that? That's now like quite loud. That's really quiet? Really? That's like twice the volume that... That's measuring at twice the volume that I usually have games running at. Okay. I can turn it up, I can turn it up, but like... It now looks really loud. Like it looks like it's the same kind of volume as me, nearly. Oh, whoops. I accidentally solved the chamber. Have you got the noise suppression? No, not noise suppression, the... No, what's it called? Like the, what's it called? Is it noise suppression? It isn't, is it? Um, in like the Twitch player, have you got the, what's it called? The I think it is noise suppression. Or noise reduction, maybe? I don't remember. The thing next to the... There's like a wiggly line next to the speaker. Or next to the, like the audio options. simply doesn't exist. Oh. Well, it should do. Okay, hold on. Oh, you on mobile? If you're on mobile, you might not be able to hear it. Or it might not, be there. Oh, you're on Oh, really? So, on the left-hand side, you should have your pause button, the mute and unmute button, then the volume slider, and then there should be, like, audio compressor. Does that not exist? Oh. Do you not have FFZ installed? Alright, never mind. Never mind, don't worry about it. It's fine, it's fine. Oh, I don't know then. Maybe I don't know what it is then. Anyway. Yeah, please excuse the lighting in that room, it's pretty awful. Anyway. We're gonna build some test chambers. We're gonna build some test chambers. Oh. Okay, now I'll do that later. Never mind. It's GLaDOS time, let's go. So I have a bunch of test chambers on here. All of these I've built recently. This was the one I was just doing. It's not great. The lighting in it is pretty awful. So... but, like, the actual thing is okay. It's just, yeah, somewhat lacking. In that sense. How many bits for the GLaDOS impression? I can't do it on cue. And I can only do specific lines. And it's not like a good impression. It's just... it just sounds kind of robotic. It doesn't really sound that much like GLaDOS. But, okay, speaking of, like, redemption stuff, right? We have an exclusive, for this stream only, channel point reward. Well, you can give me a prompt, and I will build a test chamber using that prompt. For today's stream only. It's pretty cool. Lamp. It's the... You want me to build a test chamber using the prompt of lamp. Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it. Alright. Okay. So this is what you kind of get to start with. Let's just make that all non-portable. I want the lamp. Okay. I always get the entrance and exit portals. Well, not portals, but like doors. The wrong way around. So I design like half a chamber with it around this door, and then I'm like, oh wait, that's wrong, and I have to swap them over. Okay, lamp. What could be considered a lamp? I mean, we have lasers. That's kind of like a lamp, right? Okay, alright, I have a slight idea. Let's do this. Wrong way. Actually, no, let's go out. No, let's bring it back in this way. And then let's bring this one this way. And let's do that. Oh, oops. Laser. Alright. Okay. Laser. That's a laser. So, what I'm thinking is, what could the end goal be? Oops. Let's consider the end goal. I think we could potentially have... Let's have a receptacle. I'm gonna move this there, I think. I don't particularly like this one, like this big 2-block wide thingy, because it doesn't turn on until like you've been in the chamber for a little bit. And it's quite an overwhelming light source that like just blasts across the chamber. It's not really that helpful. Okay, let's do. Yo, thank you for the host. What the heck? I moved the alert box. I moved it somewhere else, where it's actually readable. I did a thing. Amazing. Let's okay, let's put a laser. That's a laser emitter. That's not what I want. Let's put a receptacle over here. Okay, so the aim is gonna be, and this might need to be. No, I think that should be fine, right? That should be fine. I'm wondering whether that needs to be clearer. No, I think that's fine. You should be able to see that from... Yeah, that should be okay. If not, I can actually... No, I can actually move it down. I can put it there. That'll definitely be visible. So I think the end goal is going to be this. You have to hit this laser receptacle, it'll open the door. Now I have to figure out how on earth to make that the last thing. So the lamp part of this is going to be this laser, and the idea is... Well, the idea I had was that this laser would be used to solve every puzzle in the chamber. So you have like multiple components to the same puzzle, and they're all solved by using this laser, if that makes sense. Or at least to some degree. Like, the laser plays the main role. So, what could we have as a first puzzle? What could we have as a first component? Yeah, that kind of thing. So, what I'm thinking to start is that we have a... see, I can't... Okay, what I was thinking is I could maybe put fizzlers around the laser, and then have a cube in there that allows you to redirect it. But you couldn't do that because you need a cube dispenser in there as well, so the laser would have to have... Like, kind of... I don't know whether this is just like a thing that... I don't know, this might not be like an actual problem, but it's kind of annoying that you can't... Everything's got such large areas. Like you only have the tiles, I mean. The tiles are really large. So you can't place things precisely. So for example, if I were to have like a fizzler here and the idea, what I'm trying to do is I want to have a hey, I'm trying to remember how to do this. What is it? I don't remember. What I want to have is I want to have a, so around this laser I want to have a set of fizzlers that prevent you from removing a cube. So let's just for argument's sake, let's just put a cube in here. And then let's just put fizzlers here. Is that gonna actually let me put one here? No, I don't think so. Ooh, whoops. There we go. Because now, like, in order to make this all fit into this area, I have to put fizzlers around, like, a 5x5 radius. Or... Actually, I guess that's not technically true. Okay, let's try this. If I do this... like that. So the idea with this is that it prevents you from taking this cube outside of this area. And the reason why you'd want that is because if you have any cube-based puzzles that require you to drop a cube from, so let's just say I have one over here, and I then have just put a cube button here, and I need to, we'll put just a receptacle there, for example, or actually let's put it over there, and then we'll do that, connect this to this, that. Whoops. Signage. So for example, right? So now if I go into the chamber, this should... So if I go in here, obviously ignore the lighting for now. But, so this cube can't leave this area, right? It has to stay in this area, because it gets fizzled if it tries to leave, right? Like I can't get it out. So I can't put that in this button, for example, right? So I need that cube, so then I could do this, leave that there, and then it drops the cube, and then I can put the cube in this, and that. I said I can put the cube in that. Go in the thing. Thank you. And that will, that will do something. So that's kind of an idea. And then eventually, I guess, the build-up of all of this is that maybe this surface becomes portable? Or, actually it doesn't even need to. Maybe this surface becomes portable. So, like the last step is that becomes a portable surface, and then that one also becomes portable, and you just connect the two, and then you leave. So, I'm kind of working backwards here, but that's fine. Oh, I can't make that one portable because the fizzler gets in the way. That's unhelpful. Okay, there might be a way around that. What if I did this? Put this here. Whoops. Move these there. And then put it here. There we go. So that goes like that, and that goes there. Could make it a little more complicated. Could put that there. And then this one here. Is that the right way around? Into a portal like that? No, it's gonna go over there, isn't it? So I could put that one there. I put like that, and then you aim it at diagonally? Yeah. So let's put the cube like... Well, not the cube. Let's put the... the button... Oh. Let's put the button there. Oh my god. Stop being ill. Thank you for the hydrate. I will hydrate again. Excuse me. I don't know why. I'm not ill. It's literally just streaming. There we go. I forget how much these can overlap. Can I do... I can do that, right? But I'm pretty sure it won't let me do... Where did that go? Pretty sure it won't let me do that, will it? No? Okay. Alright, that's fine. So, we have this. So that, you aim at that, it comes out of this, it hits that, theoretically. What I was kind of hoping I could do... wonder if I could do it like this. Just trying to make this look a bit more natural. And I do that. Like that? That looks kind of scuffed, I don't know. That should be okay, I guess. Sure, you know what, why not? So, okay, this is... Wait, is that receptacle connected to anything? It's connected to this, right? Is it not? Yeah, it is. Oh, signage, yeah. I forgot. So there are... I should probably clarify, like, how this works, shouldn't I? For anyone who hasn't used this. I should probably clarify how this, oh my god. How this, this engine, or editor works. So, you can link stuff up. Like, that's how this entire thing kind of works. So, if I point a laser at this receptacle, I can link this receptacle by connecting it to another object. So, for example, in this chamber, it's connected to the, jeez, to the cube dropper up here. And there are different ways of indicating that something is connected. You can indicate it via what's called an ant line, which is this little blue dotted line over here. I don't know how visible that is on screen, but this thing. So that's one way of indicating that things are connected. The other way is using these signs. So the editor automatically decides what symbol it's gonna have, which is fine. But yeah, so that one is connected to this one, because you can see that they have the same sign next to them. Oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna like properly cough for 2 seconds and then I'll be back. Okay. So yeah, those are the two ways of like indicating that something is connected, or two things are connected. You can also just have nothing shown to indicate that it's connected. So in the case of this, so with this thing, it's indicated that this opens the door, but it doesn't indicate that it's opening the stairs, because the stairs lifting is kind of an implied part of the door opening. So it's unnecessary to have two different indications for what is effectively the same thing. Because it just makes it a little bit more confusing to look at. And also, it's not... You may think that, like, well, you know, just indicate with the antline the whole time, because it shows exactly what's going to what, but if you have, like, a lot of antlines everywhere, it kind of gets really confusing. Oh, it gets very confusing very quickly, where things are supposed to be leading to if you have loads of antlines crisscrossing over each other. So, yeah, signs. But anyway, if I gloss over anything or like don't explain something that probably should be explained, please point it out. Like tell me so that I could explain it, because I might just skip over things or forget to say things. Oh, okay. So if I was working at Valve on like an actual Portal game, what I would do now is I would have part of the chamber floor lift up with a series of laser relays on it. So you point the laser at the receptacle drops a cube, you put the cube in the box, and then the box like makes the floor folds open, and then platforms with laser relays come out of it. But alas, we can't do that. So what can we do? Maybe we can use the track platform. I always place these in levels and I'm like, I'm gonna use that. I want to use this one. And then I never use it and I end up removing it because I have no use for it. I don't know what to do with them. If I move this... Actually, let's do this the other way around. Let's put that there. And then let's move this cube dropper here, so it's right by the entrance, so you know it's the first thing you need to do. Then let's put this over... Whoops, this over here, and extend this like that. And we'll put one of these there. There we go. And that will raise you up to there. Yep. I think these... It doesn't look like this is sat flush with the ground, but I think they do sit flush in the chamber. If not, what I can do is I can actually drop the floor down one more level and then just raise it up so that it is flush with the thing. Okay, so it's starting to get a little bit confusing. So the cube is going to activate this. Right? The cube is going to activate this. And this needs to actually go here. It needs to start... Shrink. It needs to start there. So the cube button is going to activate this, and that will then go backwards and forwards. This will just work. Actually, no, that won't work, because then that has to... Oh, wait, that won't work. Because you can jump from that to that. Even if I put it over there, I think you can still make that jump. I can test it. My idea was to put a second cube. Maybe my idea was kind of to change. If I swap out the first dropper, so swap out that one for a sphere dropper. Oh, that's moving already. Oh, that's because I forgot to set the thing right. So this platform automatically goes up, but I'm pretty sure I can make it over here anyway. I could have done if I was good at the game. It's for speedrunning purposes. I feel like I can make that. I don't know. So far, what have we got? We've got that, drops a cube. Oh. Makes sense. That goes in there. Okay, that freezes this. Oh, that could be useful actually. Maybe that should be the puzzle. Is to actually freeze this in place in the right spot. Or is that really obnoxious to do? I don't know. So like that, for example. And then what? Then what if... Okay, what if that button flips this panel, right? That button flips this panel, which allows you to point that at that, because you no longer need this receptacle, because you already got the cube, right? And it also flips this panel, right? So you can point a laser at a portal there, and here, and then I have a receptacle over there that you have to point it at. So we have varying degrees of like difficulty. Let's try that. So let's put this is flippable. This is going to connect to this, but I'm gonna remove the connection for that. Or sorry. Oh wait, I need to do that elsewhere. And mine. I need to do it this way. So the connection visibility. Maybe it should be signage. I don't know, I feel like you've already got an indication of what this does. And this is just a secondary part of the thing. So maybe it's not necessary. Also, the sign placement is really helpful. It's gonna obscure. I guess actually, if I'm not trying to make that do that, then that doesn't matter. And let's just put that back in the middle because it looks nicer. Just do that to make sure. Okay, so that there, and then the receptacle will go over there. Here? Okay, this is gonna get in the way. That's fine, because that can go over there. Oh no, it can't, because it's too big. Alright, so we're going to, oh actually no way, I can go over the other side. I could put it at this side. Yeah. I could put it there. Does it really... I feel like it sticks out there, I don't know. I might change that. And then over the other side we can put a smaller one, like right there. There we go. We'll see whether that lighting looks good. It might look bad, but oh well. So this is connected to that. I think I am going to remove the signage. And then it also connects to this. And again, I'm going to remove the signage. I did it the wrong way around again. There we go. Okay. So that will flip both of those. You can then point the laser there at a portal, and then the portal will go up here. And you can aim it at this. Let's actually just do that. And then, what should be the plan? I feel like the cube no longer has a purpose. Or, well, okay, I need to make sure that this... Okay, this needs to be like a permanent switch. So... should I make it an in-level permanent switch, or should I just do it outside? What do we reckon, chat? Do we want another dropper? Or should I just put it outside? Because what I can do is I can just put a system outside of the level that automatically drops a cube onto a button. More or less. Another dropper? Okay. I'll make another dropper. So let's make it a sphere dropper, because why not? Or is that overcomplicating? No, I think that works because if it's permanent, so yeah, that should be fine. Cube. Well, this is an edgeless safety cube. I can make it a standard cube. I can make it a standard cube. Sphere is a cube. Sphere is a cube. It's okay, and then button. Okay, so ball goes on button. And button, what will button do? Actually, I need to connect this first before I forget. So that will connect to that. The outline's not very clean for that. Let's use signage. Yeah. I feel like with the laser receptacles it makes sense to use signage. With the exception of this one, because you can't really see the signage in the hole that it's in. And I don't want that to be uncovered any earlier than it needs to be. Because I feel like that would be potential cheese. I don't know. Okay, so that's connected to those two, and that. Cube and box. Da da da. Okay, and then. Oh, you know what might be fun, actually? Let's do this. Let's put a cube button here. Let's put a cube button there. Is there some way that that enables cheese? If I put a glass panel here and extend it like... Okay, I can't extend it like that. Never mind. Oh wait, actually I can get around that. I can get around that because I can put this... I can put it here. And do that. And then do that. And then do that. There we go. And I guess I can also put it here. So, lasers go through glass, right? Lasers go through glass. So I can put this glass here, and the idea of the glass is to prevent you from being able to put anything on this cube button until... Oh, I guess it actually doesn't work, because you could go around here, because the stairs aren't there. Huh. Lasers? Lasers, potentially? Lasers? I don't see how I'm going to fit a laser relay in here. Or not a laser relay, whatever these are called. Laser emitter? Or laser field? My bad. Yeah, because that's just going to interfere with that, right? Yeah, figures. Okay. So the problem I'm currently trying to solve, right? Because I'm kind of constructing this in my head and not saying what I'm doing. Is the idea is, so you start by pointing the cube. You use the cube to point the laser at this emitter. This emitter releases a cube from this dropper. You put the dropper in the button. All right. The button flips both this and this panel and freezes this one. Right? Which I now feel like is an overcomplication. I don't know, I feel like having to stop this platform and also having these platforms repeatedly flipping is an overcomplication. Because if you get it wrong, it might be somewhat confusing. Like if you put the cube in here and this platform freezes like over here, for example, then you won't be able to put the cube up, or you won't be able to put a portal up here. Oh wait, oh no wait, no, I'm dumb. Hold on, no, we don't even need this platform. Because you can just put a portal there. We don't need either of these platforms. Once again, these platforms are completely useless. You don't even need them. Literally don't even need them, because you put this in there, you just shoot a portal up there, you don't even need to go up there. Okay, so now we have like empty space over the side. Okay, if that's the case, let's move this over here. And let's kind of like coordinate these together. But the aesthetic, true. Okay, let's put at least a platform there. Because I feel like it's... Let's just put that there. I don't know. Maybe not that one. What about this one? This one feels more fitting. 90 degrees. And let's make that one non-visible, and then let's make this one signed. And we'll make that one signed since they no longer interfere with one another. Okay, so we have preserved the aesthetic with the platform there. Although I'm wondering... Almost feels like there should be... Well, actually, I guess that doesn't... Well, it kind of does work, actually. Okay. Your opinion, since you paid to have the test chamber built, would you prefer this platform and, like, combination... Whoops. Would you prefer this platform and, like, flipped panel to be in the corner here? So we're aiming a laser at this emitter on the back side of the wall here, right? Would you prefer it to be here or to be here? In the corner or like in between these two things here? Corner, ominous. Okay, all right. We shall leave it in the corner. Right. I guess, to be honest, I guess it doesn't really matter if this button... I now feel like I'm kind of missing something in this corner of the test chamber. There's like nothing here. But, Bro, I wish. I have additional plan. I have additional idea. I have additional idea. This is additional idea. What is that? Whoa, that's so weird. Oh, it's because... Okay. It's because this. Oops. That's not what I want. Remove connections. This one. Oh. I can't do that. I have to click this. Stairs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have one of these. I guess it has to be... We'll put it on the floor, I guess. Do that. Angle 90 degrees. And what we're going to do is this one is going to lower that. So that one needs to start deployed. It's going to flip this panel. And it's also going to lower that one. And I'm going to change this to signage. And just for cleanliness, we'll remove that one. So that will... I feel like there's a lot of signs in this test chamber, but it's 2 per button, so I feel like it's not too bad. And then the laser receptacle. I think it's okay. It's a little overcomplicated, maybe. It should be fine, though. So that will now allow you to shoot a thing at there, which will open this, and then you also have to put the button... You have to put this cube over here to open to raise the stairs. Right. Yo, what's up? I think that makes sense. To connect that to that. I don't know, what does antline look like? That looks kind of... Because the problem with the antline is it's like going onto the wall and then going down here because this... I think it's because this is interfering. Yeah, okay. Okay, so what if instead of that I do that, put it on the wall, like that. Yeah, now the antline looks a lot cleaner. Okay, let's do that. Yes. Yeah, I mean chambers. Okay, let's test it. It might be done. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Let's have a look. Alright, how does the lighting look? That's the thing I want to... I forgot to disable this dropper. That's fine. This is a game mode in Portal. Or Portal 2, rather. So, I mean, that would go in there, which would lower that and... lower that. And, okay, it flips that as well. Okay. Whoops. Okay. The lighting's... yeah, the lighting actually worked out somehow. I think we might run into a slight problem because I'm pretty sure the solution requires you to remove the cube from here. And I think that cube is actually linked to that platform, or that surface over there, which I think you need to be portalable in order to solve the chamber. But first of all, that dropper needs to be disabled. This needs to be... yeah. Don't auto-drop first cube. And... oh, what should the last bit be? Because you got the laser in there and you want the cube in there. But I'm pretty sure... is this button linked to that? It is, yeah. Okay. Is there any negative side effect of just having this portalable from the start? I don't really see how that can actually break the chamber. So let's just leave this surface portalable. And then this one will flip that one. This will open that. And it'll flip that and that. So the sphere has to stay in there. And then you can move the cube to this holder. And then aim the laser in there and it'll open the stairs. Yeah, okay, alright. Did I save this yet? No, I didn't. Okay. What would you like to call your test chamber? What should I just call it lamp? just lamp. Okay. The details, I'll just write lamp. There we go. Save. Very descriptive. Alright, let's test it. I'm kind of surprised the lighting worked out, because it's kind of weird. Or rather, like, I didn't do anything to it. I kind of just placed a couple of things, and I was gonna look at it afterwards, but it actually, it's already good. That also kind of works for once, which is nice. I am wondering whether this needs to be placed a little bit lower, because this cube falls kind of haphazardly. I don't know. Okay, so that's there. So, the slight issue with having these fizzlers to prevent the cube from leaving, is that you can't, like, if you place portals outside of here, if you go to adjust the cube, it removes the portals, which is kind of annoying. But it should be fine, I think. It's a little bit of a... I don't know. It might make the later part of the chamber a little bit irritating. So we'll see. So that goes in there. That flips that. Because the problem is now you need to do this and this. And ordinarily you'd then just aim the laser in here until you got it right. But you go in here to adjust the laser. It doesn't work like that, so... I don't know, but I don't want this cube to be able to leave the thing. Because if this cube can leave here, you can just put it in here and skip the first puzzle. And if somebody does that, then they'll get slightly confused because then this won't be activated ever, so you won't have this cube, but you also won't have any way to redirect the laser anymore because you put it in this receptacle, so you won't be able to activate that. Have 2 cubes? Of which type? 2 of these cubes or 2 of those cubes? Oh, this is the wrong way around. 2 of those ones? How would that help? Because if you've... Because the problem is that... Oh, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, so you could place them from inside the fizzlers, actually. Just about. Can I shoot through that gap? No. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, you can place them through the gaps. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The other thing I was thinking is what you could do is I could actually have a button right here. So when the cube is on the button, not one of these like cube receptacle buttons, but just a weighted button. And when the cube is on the button, the fizzlers go down. That was the other idea I was having. Because the only problem with this solution, is that when you leave, then the portals disappear and you have to reshoot them, which is like an inconvenience. But I'm gonna try the weighted button option and just see whether that's a solution. So put this here, and then when the cube goes on here, just deactivate all of these. Yeah. And I'll remove the signage, because otherwise this is going to get really clumsy. So let's just... let's actually... outline... Let's just set it down now. It's a problem. How does it cause a problem? You could stand on the button and throw the cube outside the fizzlers. Oh, true. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Okay. Okay, well the Q button won't help in this scenario because you could just change it to a Q button and then only the cube will be able to activate it, but the problem with that is that then it has to be aimed at particular directions, so you couldn't aim it at an angle, for example. Which is like the whole point of the puzzle. Okay. For now, I think we'll just get rid of that, and we'll just do the shooting through the gaps solution, but that's... If I can think of something better... Because it works, but it is kind of like a... Yeah, I don't know. Okay, what I'm gonna do first, though, while I remember, is I'm gonna put this in the other corner. Still in the corner, but I'm gonna put it over there. Because it was the wrong side of the test chamber to hit this button, to hit this emitter. Okay. Just trying to think of a solution for this. I was trying to think, maybe there's some sort of solution where... Actually, it doesn't work. Because you need... Yeah, no, that wouldn't work. Unless there is some way... No. No, okay. Can't, like, toggle what type of hazard it is. I was thinking... What you could do, potentially, is... If the cube is in here and on the button, then the fizzlers go down. But if you remove the cube, so if you were stood on the button and you threw the cube outside the fizzlers, the cube would leave the fizzlers. Then when you get off the button, laser fields go up, so you can't. So you wouldn't be able to leave. It's sort of like a workaround, but that obviously wouldn't work because you can't change these to laser fields. But okay, for now that solution, we can at least try it. We can try it. You see how it looks. It might Guzzlers? No, fizzlers. Okay. Yeah, well, if you want the scientific term, aperture science material emancipation grills. But, okay, so this isn't even the first puzzle. I'm getting ahead of myself. Do that bit first. Put the cube in here. Like that. Okay, so now this goes in here, so I can shoot a portal there. And can I hit this one? I can. Oh, perfect. That just worked. Okay, good. Alright, and now that's actually, yeah, that's actually a really good solution. Because that requires a little bit of thought. I barely know. The other potential solution is that when there's a cube in this button, the fizzlers turn off, but the only problem with that is that you could take this out while the fizzlers are off and then swap them over. I don't see... But at that point, would that even be a problem? because you need this cube in order to redirect the laser to advance further in the puzzle, and you've already done the section of the puzzle that requires you to get this. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Was that? Oh, I didn't set it lower. Yep. That's a good catch. Yeah. That does need to be lower. Is this even in the right place? This might not be in the right place. Oh, why is that flickering? This might not be placed right. This needs to be over here, I think. Okay, this is going to remove both portals, but... So, I think this might be able to sit here. If I do that. And that. No, that's not far enough over. Okay, can I move this any further over? Okay, I actually can aim it directly at it. Barely. That feels a little bit tight, I don't know. Would it actually even make... Maybe it would make more sense to just put this laser catcher on the wall and get rid of the... Just get rid of the platform covering it entirely. And then actually move this over one tile so that it's more of a harsh angle. Because it's difficult to get a shallow enough angle to hit that, so maybe it's... Maybe I need a slightly harsher angle. And then just bring it forward. Let's try that. Let's start by... I'm gonna start by just... Actually, I guess that doesn't work. I'm gonna start by just removing the connection and doing that, so rather than just deleting it entirely. Or actually, I guess I have to delete it if I want to move this wall forwards. Let's do that. And oh yeah, let's move it to the bottom. And then let's put this over here and see whether that solves that issue. We'll see. Oh, there's an ad playing. Whoops. Okay. I've played this game a lot. Not as much as I maybe feel like I have, but oh, that's the wrong thing. Wait. Oh, it's over that side. That's jarring. Okay, so we should be able to do... I love that you just have that available. Okay, right. Let's see. So shoot that there. That should drop the ball. Good. Ball goes in receptacle. That flips that. Okay, so now put one of those there and one of those there. That opens the door. Now the problem is I have to leave. Ah, wait. Aha. Okay. What if... So the earlier part of the test you can do pretty easily by just aiming through the gaps. But at this point you have to go through the fizzler in order to put the cube over there. Unless you... Because you can't do that earlier, I don't think. Or can you? Maybe you can do that bit first. I guess you can do this bit first. Yeah, I guess you can do this bit first. Okay, so it's an order of operations type thing. That's fine then. So you can do that. Why did I go back in here? Why did I go back in here? And then do that. Okay. Or I guess actually I already had that lined up. Okay, I'm just gonna do the other thing I thought of. So the other thing I thought about was... what if, when this is active, it also disables all the fizzlers? So only once the challenge is actually completed, like the, well, challenge, the level is actually fully completed. Please excuse the horrendous antlines this is generating. I think I'm going to leave one of them signposted so that you know. So let's just leave that one with signage. And then I'll individually disable the antlines for all of the rest of them. Like that. Is that a decent indicator? I don't know whether that... I think it's clear enough. We can always change it. Okay, so that. Yeah, I feel like this works a bit better. So then once you've aimed the laser at this, it's opened the door, so there's no reason to move the cube anywhere else now. Because you have to use it at this point. And it will disable the fizzlers so you can leave without having to replace the portals. Alright. Good. Let's test it. Let's run it through. Were there any last minute lighting changes we need to make? Yes, I think there are. I think this area is too dark in comparison to the rest of the chamber. The rest of the chamber is very well illuminated, but this bit's quite dark. It's not entirely clear what's going on. So... maybe just a row of lights. Just a row of lights. I don't know how that would look. Just like this. Or even... whoops. Whoa, that's my desktop. I meant to do that. But like that, maybe? I could actually use the lights to make the antline a little bit nicer. Oh, never mind. That's horrendous. What? 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 You have a perfectly straight line from there to there. How does that block it? That's so weird. Alright, whatever. That's funny. Certain things about this editor are so good, and then there's things like that, and you're like, why? How okay, whatever. Okay, good. Let's see what that lighting looks like. Yeah, they're so weird. I don't know why. That's funny. Alright. Lighting is... okay, I think that's a bit better. I feel like this... I don't know. This whole side of the problem that I have... okay, the problem that I have with this light source is that it illuminates like all of that side of the chamber, and then the side that it's on permanently looks like it's in shadow. Like, regardless of how many lights you put in it, it just looks like it's in shadow. I don't know whether that's because I have my graphics settings set too low. Probably not. I wouldn't imagine that's the issue. But it's just... I think it's fine. Being too picky about the lighting. Anyway. Right. Solve the test. Yeah, that window's just weird. I don't know. That goes in there. Point this over there. Portal. Ooh, portal. That missed. That's fine. Like that. Sphere goes in receptacle. Okay. That. And that. Then those go down like that, and I need the cube. Oh wow, those actually just like fold away. I didn't know that. I've never noticed that. Oh, that's a cool animation. Alright. Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway. Nice. Bunny hopping very, very well there. Good. Sloped surfaces. Alright, I think that was good. I think that was okay. I couldn't... Trying to think, yeah, no, I know. Trying to think whether there are any potentials for cheese. Because like we have this platform here, there's no reason to use it. Like it's just there because aesthetic, I guess. So I don't... Is there anything I can think of? Go back in. Actually, I guess I don't need to do that. Oh, I was gonna lower this, wasn't I? Can I actually lower it, or is it gonna get in the way of that? It's gonna get in the way of that, isn't it? Never mind. Just trying to think of things I could do to potentially cheese it. Can I hold this high enough to hit that from here? Okay, I mean, that's not a problem though, because I can't keep this here. Like, I can't even take that out, you know? So that's fine, that's not an issue. Ba, 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 ba. Really? Whoops. I mean, other than that, I can't really see anything else that... That might be kind of a problem, but... Oh well. Yeah, no, as soon as I... Oh, I guess I can do that? Yeah. So I could do this. Oh no, actually I can't, because the laser has to be going into the cube. So as soon as I move out of the line of the laser, it will stop it from working. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I think this is good. I think this is okay. So that... Oh, whoops. That, rather. Portal there. Portal there. That. Drops ball. Ball goes in there. Cube goes over here. Go in the... Let go. Okay, is there anything I can do like this? I mean, at this point, there's kind of no point in cheesing it, because it's literally just a single pair of portals away. But is there anything I can do at this point? Like, I mean, this still doesn't work here, does it? No, because there's still no way of keeping that in place. The cube was being a little bit, yeah, there we go, okay. he wasn't behaving. Anyway, yeah, there we go. Test chamber. There it is. It's lamp. I won't publish it yet now because I don't want to like. I don't know what kind of Steam overlay stuff comes up and. But yeah, there it is. There is test chamber. It is done. It's all finished. Yeah. Lamp. There it is. Okay. Alright. Let's, if you run an ad, will I come? Yes. Yes. The what is it called? The teleshopping channel? Yeah, the teleshopping channel redemption is basically like a way of uh yeah, like supporting me without actually giving me physical money. Um just runs an ad. And it's a, you know, funny name. Haha, teleshopping channel. Pog something? I don't know. But you know what? You know what? Let's make a co-op chamber. I haven't actually made a co-op chamber. I think ever, so this could go terribly. But I think it might be fun. Let's make a co-op chamber. Okay. So these are more complicated, if I remember. I don't remember entirely how to, like, do this. Because, yeah. These ones are a little bit more confusing to keep track of everything, because you've got two sets of people to worry about. Let's, okay, let's start by doing this. Boop. Bonk. And let's do... I can't do that. Oh, you know what I can do, though? I can actually use this platform. No, I can't. Just kidding. I can't place that in front of the exit. I guess I have to use one of these. Alright. Could use light bridges, but I don't really want to do that. Okay. Okay. Let's... I don't know what to do. I don't know how to build co-op chambers. Maybe we could use light bridges anyway. Okay. Let's just start with a light bridge and we'll see where this goes. Put one there. Actually, let's do this the other way around. Let's put a wall up, maybe? Yeah, let's do a wall. Let's do this. Start in a sort of enclosed area. We'll do that. We'll make this surface portable. I mean, a super simple puzzle will just be, like, portable surface there. And then just like another one over there. Or something like that. But that's, I don't know. Actually, I want to test something really quick. If I do this, visually that sits above this. I realize obviously that's not going to hit the portal plane, but... or the portal surface, rather. But is that still above the... I assume it's still above the... Whoa. Oh, right. I have to control both players. Okay, it is still above the stuff. The goo. Not working? What, the redemption? Maybe refresh? It might not have updated yet. It might not have updated. No, that should be... I don't know. That's weird. How am I gonna do this? I really don't know how to make co-op chambers, to be honest. Let's do one of these. Let's do another one, but let's do it sideways. And then let's put this... Oh, what am I doing? Portable service. Okay. I don't know why that's not working. It's weird. Okay, let's just do like... Let's just make this whole side wall portable. And then let's do this. Let's do that. Ooh. That? Yeah. And let's put like turrets here. I never use turrets either, so this is good. That's not gonna work because they have visibility of this area. I don't want them to be able to see like the starting area because that would be mean, I think. Unless you can shoot portals through light bridges, right? Yeah. So I could do this actually. Do that, get rid of that one. I feel like the ceiling might be a little bit high in this chamber, but we'll change it later. Do that. Is that forward? Yeah, there we go. Do that, so now they can see it. Actually, let's just put one there. I don't know, I feel like I want two. What if I do that? And then put another one here. But put that one this side. Whoops. Yeah, okay. That works. So I feel like you could figure out a way to get over there pretty easily. Actually, I guess I need to maybe remove that one. Because you could almost definitely put a light bridge here and then jump into the exit. I guess I could close it, but... We'll put one of these there. Okay, so the idea is I'm utilizing a thing that that they do a lot in the actual the co-op test tracks, which is where one player has to maintain like the light bridge that's blocking the turrets, and another player has to maintain the light bridge that's sort of that they're walking on. So, for example, I will do that, which will block the turrets from being, or the turret from being able to see. Then switch to the other player, and then we can have this, I guess. Yeah, that kind of works. I mean, from here you can basically get to the end of the chamber. Or actually, wait, no you can't, because... It's funny. Yeah, because you can't shoot the thing. I always forget about that. Yo, teleshopping channel! Thank you for redeeming teleshopping channel. I'm running an ad. What? The ad is running. Wait, no it's not. It will be shortly. Now it is. There we go. Okay, so the problem is that if I'm on this one, I need a second person to be able to shoot this portal, because if I do that, that happens. So I need to be able to shoot the portal that side, I guess. Like that. But then the turret sees me. So I can do that. And now the turret can't see me. But this also doesn't really help. Okay. This is a little strange. Also, there's no... Wait, there's no stuff over there now. What? Why is this gone? Put this over here. Okay. I could use a laser. I think I'll just use glass. Makes more sense, I think. Okay. Oh, actually, wait, that doesn't work. I forget turrets can't shoot through glass. Stupid. Yo, the ad is finished. Let's go. Thank you for redeeming Dollar Shopping Channel. Again. Okay, I'll just do that. That works, I guess. And then we'll make that surface non-portable. Just because... Okay, I'm trying to think how to actually solve this. Because if one player's maintaining this one, then only one person can actually control the bridge, which means that they need to be able to hit this, like, get to places where they can kind of stand. So, for example, if I did this... Oh, do you mean hat time? Yeah, hat time just adds a hat. Yeah. Okay, so Oh, but then where the... Maybe this doesn't work. I think I'm just gonna do that. And... I can just leave this permanently raised, can't I? If I do like... Whoop, wrong way. If I do like that, and then I do... I guess I'll use a laser. Like that. And then I link that to that. And do this back the way it was. I guess I could just do that, right? Turn off signage. That'll just permanently keep that raised. Okay, is this solvable? Is this solvable? I really don't know how to build co-op chambers. This is kind of scuffed. But it's fine. Okay. Ignore the lighting for now, I know it's terrible. So let's do this. Oh, wrong one. Wait, so, okay. Okay, no. Wait, this doesn't work either. Let's do that. Let's do that. And there is a portable surface there. And then get rid of that. Put one there. Actually, I'll just put one there and get rid of those two. And then I guess I don't need this either. Now a lot of this feels unnecessary, I don't know. I think this chamber feels way too big now. I don't know, maybe we'll add another element to it. Oh, what? Okay. Yeah, whatever. So now you can't go over there, you have to do this first. I need to click R. So now what I can do is I can do this? Question mark? Yeah. And now I can stand on this platform over here. And I can shoot a portal over there. And now I can't get back. Okay. This might require some degree of coordination. This can be solved, but it requires me to do this, and then do this, and then do that. Which is fine, and it would be a lot easier with two separate people, but... and then this player needs to shoot this portal back here. I think. Yes. Hello. Okay, so I should be able to fit a second portal on there? Question mark? So if I do that... Okay, never mind. Apparently I can't fit a second portal on there. And now to remove that. Okay, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Let's just do that. Let's bring this forward one, just so that it's a bit easier to see from the other side. Because Yeah, that's a little bit awkward to see. I don't know. I don't know, part of me feels like the turrets are just an unnecessary complication, but at the same time there's like no other hazard in the level. Um, and it defeats the point of having this, so then it would just be really easy because you just use the other thing. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's fine. Oh, that's cool. It shows you like all of the other ranges at the same time. It's helpful. Drowning it, well, it's kind of a hazard, but like it's not an immediate hazard. Like you have to actually fall into it. Like, this is a more direct hazard. Oh no, I can't breathe underwater. Um what if I just that looks horrendous. Try maybe? No. Oh, still that one. Okay. Again, ignore lighting. Not finished. Um. Ah. Oops. Wrong one. Okay, so you actually can't even see that. You can barely even see that through there. That's really bad. Yo, enjoy the lurk. Goes well. Um. Like you can't see that from here. You can't see that from here at all. You can't. It's not visible. It's I don't know, like if it was placed a little bit higher, because I could these were just I don't know why I doubted these are funny, but you could technically bring this lower, or I could take this lower and then I could put the portable surface up there and then it'd be much more visible. Let's try that. Let's do this, and then put this up like there, I guess. Yeah. So that will allow you to get to the end of the chamber. I feel like there should be something else, you know? I feel like there should be another element to this, because it feels a little bit just bland. Let's just place a thing, place another thing, and that's it. I feel like there should be another elements to this. Now, what if I did that? Let's add that. Let's put one of those there. And then let's close the door. just that. That feels kind of boring. But, I don't know. Signage. Can I run ads? Yeah, I can run ads by myself. Yep. Ads run automatically anyway, to clear out pre-rolls for anyone coming into the stream. But, yeah, I can run additional ones. I can't, like, force ads not to play, because that's, like, Twitch's side. Like, Twitch does that. I can... It's basically a choice. Either everyone who comes into the stream gets, like, 30-something seconds of ads, like, anytime they come into the stream, and anytime you refresh, you get, like, a whole bunch of ads as well. Or every, like, half an hour, I just run, like, 90 seconds of ads and it clears them all out. I choose not to run ads. Yeah. Every time I run an ad break, it clears out the next, like, preset series of ads. So, yeah. I don't know. It's yeah. I just don't. I just let it do its thing. Yeah. Oh, you know what I might do to make this chest chamber a little bit more fun, quote unquote? What? No, I don't want that. That down there. Actually put that there. Faith plate. Actually, I guess that doesn't work, really. Because it needs to land on here. Wait, oh no, I can do this. There we go. It's like that one's too little, this one's too much. Yo, welcome back. I'm trying to create a co-op chamber and I have no idea how to make co-op chambers. That's what's happening. That might work, that might not work, I don't know. Might be kind of terrible. It might need an extra platform space. Just so that when you drop down with the cube, it doesn't, Don't fall in the thing. Okay, that might be too high, I might need to bring that down. It might be too high up. Oops. Okay, that's more accessible, I think. So, okay, from here, what was the plan? I forget. I think it's that. And then... I need to do... What is it? I need to shoot a portal there, and then switch and then run through. So like that, and then switch, and then come through like that. Yeah. Okay. I dropped the cube. I'm so stupid. Yeah, we had some ads. Alright. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I can just bring this through first. Yeah, that makes that a lot easier. Let me drop it. What? Okay, so now I need to place... Is it the dark portal? Yeah, over there. Okay, now we switch, and now I do that, switch, come through. And now the cube isn't sat on a precariously placed thing, and I'm not stupid for now. So now we do that, and now I'm up here. Okay, so that guy can see me. That's good. That's what I was hoping. Okay, so I need to drop down there. Oh, wait, I need to drop down there. Oh, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work, because that guy's gonna be able to see me. Yeah, and I'm kind of stuck. I guess that could be... that doesn't feel right. Oops. I guess that works. And then you have to go through, place the portal there. And then I can get rid of that one, actually. Oh, whoops, I haven't named this one. I'm just gonna call it mess, or a mess. No, not a ness. A mess. I can't build co-op chambers. Lol. Nessat, no. Yo, chopstick gang, let's go. I'm a big fan of chopsticks. Big fan of chopsticks. Oh my god, okay, which one am I? This one. Okay, so, there. That's the wrong button. I will get the hang of this eventually, I promise. That. I killed the cube, very cool. Okay, so I do that, and then I shoot the red portal up. Wait, do I have to shoot the red portal up there? I can shoot the yellow portal up there. Then go through it using the red portal. Oh no, that doesn't work. Never mind. That doesn't matter. That doesn't work. Is there... Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay. I was just thinking, is there cheese, but there isn't, because... Yeah, that... No, because the second player needs to stay alive. Okay, so, now, I do this, and then I switch, and then I go through here. Or I get stuck and I die because I can't control two characters at once. Alright, but we still have the cube, so it doesn't really matter. Oops. Good soup. Okay, I guess this player goes over here now. Oh, I didn't do this. Do that first. Then do this. Just kind of doing. Okay, so I need to place one over there. I guess it doesn't matter which. Ooh. Hello? Okay. What? You really don't want to drink this stuff. It really doesn't look very good. It's literally called deadly goo. I don't think you want that. That might just be me, but I feel like you don't want that. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter about the other portal for now. I'll just kind of stand here. And then do this, and then come through here. And then... Okay, so I have that portal placed, so let's do this. Like that, and then let's place this one like that. And then that one there. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, I need to, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make that surface another tile high, just to make that a bit easier, but for the purposes of testing the rest of the level, does this now work? Yes. Okay. That does actually work. Good. Alright, I feel like that, yeah, that works. Okay, cool. So what was I gonna do? Okay, yeah. Make that surface portable so that you can more easily adjust the height of that. And I think the rest of that is fine. I don't know, I kind of feel like one player has a lot more involvement in the level than the other one. I don't know. What activates that? The button, right? Yeah, the button. Alright. It's not great, but I guess it kind of works. I don't know. It was kind of an out there one, wasn't it? So this player does that, right? The second player then does this, like that, grabs the cube and places it somewhere safe, like over there, and then just kind of gets out of the way, or something. I don't know. So I have, what do I have? Yeah, red portal up there. IG. Place it like there. Okay, and then like this, and then through like that. Okay, and now take the cube. Place this here. Right? Yeah, okay. So leave the cube like that. Place this like this, and this kind of like there? Yeah, alright, nice. Wait, I can't take the cube off them? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna sit here. with that character. And then bring the other one over here. Let's do that. Okay, that kind of worked. Okay, I guess that works. It's so weird doing it with one person, but that did work. Sort of. You know what? I suck at two-player chambers, so that'll do. Alright. Oh, what time is that actually? That's something I should have probably checked. Oh, it's 7 o'clock. Oh, okay. Let's do like a micro chamber. Let's do one micro chamber. Like really small. And then I think that's gonna have to be it for today. Ugh. So if I go in here. Oh, these are like all the old ones that I made with my brother like ages ago. And a bunch of other ones I downloaded. Is it in here? No, it's not in here. I'm not playing Chambers today. I mean, to just play on by myself, maybe. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I might have a look at them, but yo, the room tidying goes well. How many bits to play your chambers? Me play my chambers, or you play my chamber, or play someone else's? What? Wait, I'm confused. I think I confused myself though. That's probably because that's probably because it's local. And that would be why. You would like to play my chambers? You could do it. Just play them. I think they're all published to friends only. So if you go onto like the community page for Portal 2, you should be able to subscribe to them, and it'll add them into your game. So I think there's 5 in there at the moment. 5? Yeah, there's 5 of them. Excuse the lighting on the first one, it's pretty bad. And that one actually. The first two have like the same kind of room layout, and the lighting was really awful on both of them. The rest of them I think are okay. But yeah, feel free. These ones, I'll put these ones up there as well, because why not? I don't know. We can do a co-op chamber together. We can do this co-op chamber together. It'll be fun. It's a good chamber, I promise. It's not really shoddily designed. You can play Lamp. You can play Lamp. Oh my god. We do need to finish co-op. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm probably not available for the rest of the week, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. Because I've got Christmas stuff to do. Yeah, I don't know when. I'm sort of Oh, I don't know. I don't know when. I mean, anytime after Christmas, I'm basically not doing anything for like a month or so. Well, not a month, maybe like a week or two. I don't know. Oh, whoops. Alright, let's, I meant to create new. There you go. Let's do a quick micro one. Like a little itty bitty chamber. Boop. Yeah, cube. I can do one player as well, because I don't know how to do a co-op chamber this small. That would be ridiculous. I might get rid of that. Because I feel like this is going to be obnoxious lighting. And it's just because it just takes up a lot of space on the wall. But oh well. Right, let's see. I find it's always the most difficult part of designing like any chamber is just, I feel like this is a level design thing just in general. The most difficult part is figuring out how to start with it. Yo? One stream left? Oh my goodness. It's so wild, it's like the end of the year. How does that work? Uh, oh, I don't know, I feel like the last chamber I kind of used two mechanics that I never use in test chambers, like I don't know how to use them properly. Like the co-op and also the turrets, like I never use turrets, and I never do co-op chambers, so... Oh, wait, what stream is that? FNAF 6? Yikes. I mean, you like... I don't know. Um... Um... Hmm. Button. Yeah. I actually haven't seen anything for FNAF 6. I watched like nothing when it comes to FNAF. (2017)? Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I've like never watched any FNAF stuff. It's just not really the kind of game that appeals to me. Is that gonna angle? It should work, right? Might need to go there. Um, laser. Might have to adjust the position of the laser. We shall see. Okay, for now, let's just connect that to that. Ignore the ant lines, I'll move them. Or change them, rather. Let's just see if that laser lines up properly. Yeah. Oh, what do you know? It does. Those lines up like perfectly. Okay, I've encountered an error. I've encountered a slight issue. That's fine. We'll do that. We'll do that, it's fine. Okay, so the laser works, surprisingly. So what I'm wondering is... can I raise this platform with something else? For example, could I... trying to work out. Want like a permanent switch, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of don't want it. I kind of do, but I kind of don't at the same time. I feel like I don't want another thing sat in the level. But okay, I'm gonna get rid of this because I really don't like it. It's just getting in the way, taking up too much wall space. And let's do like this. Actually, let's just do that. And let's put one of these here. Here? Well, we'll put it there. Can always move it. Do that. Is that, oh, whoops. Is that consistent? It might not be. We'll see. Alright, I didn't put any lighting in here. So now it's just incredibly dark. Good. Okay. What was the point of this again? I've kind of forgotten why I wanted to add this. Cube. Oh, right. Yeah, so this. That. That drops that. That. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. I'm stupid. Disconnect that. Yeah, okay. Laser receiver. Boop, boop. Laser. Oops. Like that. Actually, let's use this one. This one might be more funky. Angle 90 degrees. Let's make this one portable and also like that. And then let's actually put this back in the middle. Okay, and then this is going to trigger something. This will trigger, well, that's the wrong way. This. Do. Okay, I want one of these falling onto one of these. I'm pretty sure I want to use. Is it a light bridge? I'm trying to remember how to do this. Do that, and then this disables this. Whoops. None. Start enabled. So that drops a cube onto that. When you activate that, it disables this, drops the cube into here. I guess I'll do that. I'm gonna put a row of lights across here. See how that looks. Might not be great, but and let's put one of these. Oh wow. There, I guess. Okay, let's change that to signage. That one kind of works as an outline. I think that's fine. Okay, and then this, we'll raise that, and it'll flip this, and it'll activate this, and then this will raise that. Yes. Connection visibility none. Yes. That should work. This might suck. This might suck, but I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Oh, that looks perfectly. Alright, cool. So that does that. Alright. Alright, there we go. It's not exactly the most complicated chamber in the world, but it doesn't have to be. It will do. Alright, I'm going to call it small room. It's small and a room. Save. Okay. That was pretty good. Made 3 test chambers. One of them was like decent, and then the other 2 were kind of trash, but it's fine. Oh, so that's it. Yawning. That's it for 2021. Finished streams for the year. Next year the 602 grind begins. So a lot of SM64. I'm gonna start Sunshine. And Galaxy 2 as well. Yes, of course. Ask away. So yeah. Sort of it. Favorite streaming moment of the year? It's a good question. Oh. I think coming back to streaming in September after taking a couple of months off, coming back and doing a bunch of those longer streams, and yeah, that was nice. That was cool, doing that. That was pretty good. I don't know whether I could necessarily pick like a really good moment, like just one, you know. There were no good moments. Everything was terrible. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't think I could pick just one. Like, there were so many good points. I mean, we got a whole heap of new PBs. That was something. Earlier in the year, there were obviously all the Sims 4 world records. So that was fun. But yeah, I think just coming back and doing those longer streams and people actually still being here, that was nice. Um, yeah. But that's it. That's uh, that's it. I've just been informed that my food has been burnt, which is splendid. Uh, so I gotta go and have something to eat. I am kind of hungry. Um, and that is gonna be it for 2021. Um, yeah. So I'll see you guys in the new year, January. I don't know when exactly I'll start streaming again. Like the streams will resume, I mean. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, because that'll be the first place that I'll probably post when I know. Um, if not, just keep your eye on the schedule. If you fancy doing that. Um, there might be a couple more YouTube uploads going out. I can't remember when I set a couple of them to actually go live. So there might be one or maybe two of those. And obviously this VOD will be going on the VODs channel, but yeah. But other than that, that's it for this year. And yeah, here's to next year being a good productive year. Get some solid stuff going. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it from me. Have a great Christmas, and New Year's as well, obviously. Um, and I will see you in the new year. You guys are awesome, and yeah, I will see you then. All right, bye. Goodbye, chat. I won't see you for so long. Goodbye. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream now. Goodbye. Ah.